All right. Hey guys, it's Sammy. I'm here with my client Bethany, and I just wanted to introduce her to you because she's been having some great progress in the last just over a month that we've been working together, right? And so I just wanted to introduce her to you guys and have her share a little bit about herself and her challenges that she's faced and what she's seen happen in the last month or so. So, Bethany, so just first of all, just tell us who you are and what you do.
Sure. I'm Bethany Willis, and I'm a mom, and I'm a fiddle player in a local band. Yeah, I think that's what I do.
That's what you do. Awesome. Thank you.
So my two main gigs.
Well, you do a lot of traveling. There's a lot on your plate.
There's a lot. Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot. So how about we just rewind back to before we started working together? What was the biggest challenge or problem for you?
Yeah. So, well, because I'm in a band and we are traveling, we are on stage and I'm in photos and I'm out of the house and I'm gone. And I, over the summer, I was just gaining weight and I was eating healthy. And when I was in town, I was kickboxing 5 days a week. Just doing everything I could possibly do. Sorry about the dings. I don't know how to turn those off. And I was exhausted. I was continuing to gain weight. I have Lyme disease, so that contributes to some of everything that I deal with. But nothing was working. I couldn't get the scale to move. I also say nothing was working. I could not figure out how to get the sugar out of my diet. And so it wasn't until you and I started working together and I got my lovely plan that I was able to really just take a step back and be like, oh my word, there's so much sugar everywhere in my diet. It's everywhere. So I really think that combination of things, and alcohol, I don't drink a lot, but when we'd go out to dinner or we'd, they buy you a drink when you're, and that adds up. So yeah, there were a lot of contributing factors to just feeling super frustrated with feeling like I'm doing all the things, I'm eating all the things, I am working myself to death. I love kickboxing, but it just was, how can I be kickboxing 5 days a week and not losing anything? So it was just really frustrating.
Yeah, definitely. So what other than the kickboxing had you tried to solve it, and why don't you think that worked?
Yeah, good question. So I was also working with an online program called Eat to Perform. I like the idea. I've had success with that in the past. It's, essentially eating as opposed to calorie deficit or, something like that. So I was doing that this whole time and I was not getting anywhere. But basically on that plan, you don't eliminate anything. There's no bad foods. There's no, you don't restrict. You just fill in your macros with what you can fill in your macros with. So for someone like me who did not have, I didn't have good eating habits. So I was filling in those cracks and crevices and everywhere with things that just were not working with my body. So I just kept feeling like my body just feels inflamed. I just feel so puffy and like it just was sick. It was sick. So yeah. And I've had success with that plan years ago, but for whatever reason, this time it just was not working for me. So
yeah. So I know that you had done CrossFit in the past. Would you consider that something that you had done and just was not working for you at this point?
Yeah. I haven't done CrossFit for a while. I did it for probably 8 or 9 years. Love it. I love everything about it. But when there was a lot of stress in my marriage. I was having some health issues. I had breast implants. At the time and Lyme disease. So add all those together. And I hit a point where all of a sudden in a workout, I felt like I can't lift my arms.
Mhm.
And I had never had that feeling before. I didn't know what was going on. I really hadn't worked that hard. And that just, from that day on, it just was, I couldn't recover from it. So come to find out, that's how we sort of tracked down the Lyme disease.
Yeah.
And with that, I had chronic EBV.
Yeah.
That was what hit me that day, was like everything just exploded and was so inflamed. So really have not been able to do CrossFit since then, because it sends my body into, I don't know what the term is. It just doesn't work. I'm exhausted.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So while I love that same with kickboxing, right? I love that high intensity stuff, but
This works against your body.
yeah, it really does. And it seems counterintuitive to what you hear, with all of the, oh, just work more and eat less. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crying.
Yeah. The problem is when you've got the inflammation, that does not work. Right.
Does
I mean,
not.
it just doesn't. So what do you feel like was the catalyst for you to finally, to reach out to me, to start working together?
Well, of course I followed your health journey, and have watched. I was seeing you on Facebook, actually. You were making posts and talking about this and talking about that. And then you started talking about working with women who were over 40. And I was like, oh, I just need to call Sammy. And we had this big, huge event where I'm in front of a lot of people. And I was just so embarrassed for where my body was. Like, like, I can't do anything about this. And I have to put it out there for everybody to see. And I just desperately wanted to change that. So I saw one of your posts on Facebook, and you were talking about working with women over 40. I'm like, okay, well, I'll be 50 next year, and I'm done feeling like this.
Yeah.
This has to change.
Yeah.
So I called.
Good. I'm glad you reached out. I'm glad you did.
Me too.
So what do you feel like has been, what's moved the needle the most for you in the last month, or just a little over a month that we've been working together? What do you think has made the change?
Sugar.
Yeah.
I think the sugar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. And in removing not just the candy and the chips but even some of the vegetables that I was eating that, are higher sugar content. I like potatoes, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I know that has made a huge difference. I used to drink Coke,
Mhm.
and then I decided Coke wasn't going to be good. And that was way back when Monster energy drinks, first came out. And so I tried those. I'll just replace the Coke with the energy drink. And that had been like a 10-year daily habit, addiction, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I was able to get off of those. I don't know. I really don't know, other than I got to a point where I didn't know if I was willing to do the work.
Yeah.
But I knew I was not willing to stay where I was.
Yeah.
And that's all I knew at the time when we started working together. Like, all I know is I cannot stay here.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can succeed at this.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to just not stay here. So I just tried to be like, don't make excuses, follow the plan. And the plan that you gave me was just so well laid out, and with all the recipes and, the extra things that you would send me. I was like, okay, I'm just going to trust that I'm going to try to do something different. Because what I've been doing is not working. And so, it was almost immediate.
Yeah.
Switching that to that plan, and mentally being in a place where I just was like, okay, this is just what I'm going to do. And it was really hard for the first 2 weeks. And then that third week, I was a little more comfortable with, okay, I know, of the recipes, what I can eat and how much time it takes, and how can I do this and fix food for the kids, and how, I take my cooler with me when I go on the band, but it got easier, and I've never been in a place where I don't crave sugar, never in my life,
Yeah.
no matter what I was trying to do, even when I was, yeah, never.
Yeah.
And I have hit that point.
Wow.
Well, we're now what, 5 weeks in?
5 weeks in. Yeah.
5 weeks in.
Yeah.
And I realized the other day, I'm like, I'm not even like, it's not a struggle. And I've never been there where it not just like
Yeah.
trying to make it. Now I'm like,
Yeah.
I actually want to continue to make food decisions
Yeah.
that are going to get me where I want to go, because I want that more than I want the food. And the plan gives me enough freedom to be like, okay, well, all I had to eat the other night was pizza because I was out and someone else was providing food. I had pizza and it didn't derail me. I still lost half a pound the next day. So those little things give me the like, okay, I can do this.
Good. Good. Well, you've been doing the hard work and putting it in. So it's been very cool to see. And you're you're almost 13 pounds down now. Am I right?
Yes, 13 or close to 14.
Yeah. So congratulations on that. That's amazing. That's awesome.
you.
So I guess my last question for you would be, what would you say to someone else who's in the same position as you were back when we first started working together, when you had those challenges?
Well, probably the biggest thing that was the most helpful for me was realizing I don't have to know if I can do this. I just have to be willing to not stay where I am. And something about that mental shift let me know I was actually ready. Because until I was ready, until I got to a place where I was like, I'm done making excuses.
Yeah.
Clearly, something's got to change. So yeah, it's a willingness thing, it's a readiness thing, and just maybe try to get to that point where you can recognize, are you at least not willing to stay where you are? And if that's the case, then you can start making decisions that are helpful in getting where you would like to be. And
yeah. So I lied. That's not my last question. I guess my last question would be, do you feel like, I know that you mentioned that the first couple weeks were hard. They were challenged. Do you feel like where you're at right now, do you feel like that hard work has been worth it?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'll bring my band back in. They're all watching me go through this journey too. And so it's been just pretty cool because they have been supportive right from the start. Yeah. But now they're all starting to take their own health journeys as well, because they're watching me show up with my cooler. But then they're also seeing the results of like, yeah, okay, I'm showing up with my cooler again, but it's working. So it's been just really cool to see how like we're all starting to on some story. My son even is, he just told me today, he's like, I'm really glad there's no candy in the house because I would eat it. And food is love, right? And that's what I grew up with. And so trying to learn to
new ways to love.
Different ways to love my kids and different ways to love myself. And I'm not a dog. I don't have to reward myself with treats.
Right. Yeah. That's very true. That, or else, just change the treats.
Exactly.
Right.
Or make that treat a more mindful. I do find that too. Like, okay, I really want something. I can't think, like French fries, okay, be mindful and really savor the flavor. And when I did that, I had like 4 French fries, and that's really all I wanted. Whereas previously, I'm just eat a whole plate full, and I'm just not paying attention. It's not. So when I am having that sort of feeling for like, I'm just craving this, okay, savor it. If it's not something that's going to really make me sick, just be mindful, pay attention, and be present. And that makes a big difference too. You find that you don't eat a whole bag of candy hearts, really,
Yeah.
because that's gross. But if you're not thinking about it,
Yeah.
demolish a whole bag, so
They're gone before you know it.
yes, but I had to not do that for those first couple of weeks because I just didn't want to make excuses that were gonna, find all the little loopholes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
No,
pushed the boundaries a little, but for the most part, it was important that I didn't push those big boundaries
mhm.
of the diet those first couple of weeks because I was really trying to retrain years and years of habits.
Yeah. It's amazing how those get ingrained. So yeah. Well, I'm proud of you. You've been doing such good work. And it's been really cool to see results and to see the mindset change as well happen. So thanks for hopping on here and thanks for sharing and being willing to share it with other people. And
Thanks for
I know others are going to
get on track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Well, hopefully guys, this is helpful for you. And let me know if you have any questions.